Hello BookTube, Sarah here and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm coming to you with my 6th book haul of 2017. I have another 24 books I want to talk about. A lot of these I'm going to run through relatively quickly because they are like the Harlequin category romance, which as much as I love them, it can get tedious to go into all the particular storylines. But there are some I'm going to talk about in a little bit more detail. So let's jump right in and get started. The very first book I want to talk about is Hanging Mary. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I've talked about this book before. I hauled this book last summer in a physical format. I am still really wanting to read it, but I never got to it. I had meant to read it last summer. This is the story. It's a historical fiction novel based on this woman, Mary, obviously, who ran a boarding house that John Wilkes Booth stayed at. And essentially it's about the Lincoln assassination, but kind of from her perspective and how she could have even maybe stopped it, from what I understand. So yeah, I saw it come up on ebook for $2.99, and you guys know how much I love reading on my e-reader. I find reading on my e-reader, I read more than I do in physical book format. So yeah, again, I really wanted to get to this one, so I'm glad I finally have a copy of it for my e-reader. Next book, another Kindle Daily Deal, is called Four Friends by Robyn Carr. This is essentially a contemporary romance story about four friends dealing with situations and issues, that kind of a story. Robyn Carr is a really great author. I remember borrowing this book from the library a number of years ago and only getting a few chapters in before I kind of had to take it back because I'm sure I had a lot of books that I'd taken out of the library at the time. So when I saw this one come up on Daily Deal, I snagged it because I am looking forward to reading it. Robyn Carr is a really fantastic author. The next book is called A Bollywood Affair by Sonai Dev. Now, if you guys watched my March TBR, you know that I'm reading another book by her this month, and that was The Bollywood Bride. And I loved it. I did finish it, and I absolutely loved it. And this one I noticed when I was checking the stuff on my wish list, because I put this one on my wish list. When I was adding it, I noticed it was like very inexpensive at $2.99, so I immediately snagged it up because the author is really, really great, and I am very much looking forward to this one. I loved the first one, and I'm sure I'm going to love this one too. They are kind of part of the same series. I think this one actually is supposed to come before the Bollywood Bride, but they're more what's that word? Interconnected as opposed to a true series where you have needed to read them in order. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one. And these covers are just gorgeous. I absolutely love them. Next one is an adorable little novella that I got. I get the newsletters from Harlequin, of course. And this came up, and it was shown in the latest newsletter that there's a new series for the love-inspired suspense novels called the Classified Canine Unit. And they have a little, like, introduction novella, and it's called Agent in Training. It's by Terri, and it's essentially about the rescue dogs. I'm sure it's about the humans that take care of the rescue dogs, but all of the covers, I was looking at the series, all of the covers feature a dog, and just the dog. And I mean, like, how unbelievably adorable is that? So the romantic love-inspired suspense are a Christian fiction novels, but a suspenseful one, so these ones sound like a lot of fun. It was 99 cents. I couldn't say no to that. So the next 4 books I'm going to talk about, I bought a few weeks ago with the buy 3, get 1 free Friday sales at Harlequin. And these are some older ones because I do love collecting these, and you can't pass up buy 3, get 1 free. So the first one is Valentine's Fortune by Allison Leigh. This is the second book in the Fortunes of Texas Return to Red Rock series, a Harlequin special edition novel, or at the time it would have been the Silhouette special edition novels. The next one is called Lone Star Surrender by Lisa Renee Jones. This is a Harlequin Blaze novel, so a little more spicy on the romance scale. The next one is, you'll have to bear with me as I kind of flip through these, The Cowboy Next Door by Brenda Minton. This is another love-inspired novel, which is, of course, again, a Christian romance novel, obviously about a cowboy. And the last one in the set that I got is called, not that one, I have all the covers sitting here so I can show you guys. The Things We Do for Love by Margot Early. This is a Harlequin super romance. Now, I read the back of all of these, so I kind of know what they're about when I bought them. This one kind of stuck out to me because it's about a woman who uses like a magic potion to get the guy to fall in love with her, or what she thinks is a magic potion. So this one sounds like a lot of fun. So then after that, I got another email from Harlequin because the love-inspired novels are actually celebrating, I think it's their 20th anniversary. So yeah, that's pretty spectacular. And they had a, in the email, there was a place for you to click on to get 3 of them for free. So if I remember to, I'll post a link in the down bar below as well as listing all these books like I always do. But anyway, they had, like I said, 3 of them for free, and they're in a PDF format. So that was great. So I immediately added them to my Kindle. And the first one here, bear with me, is called, this first one is The Rancher's Secret Wife. Oh, yeah, this is saying 15 years, but I think these are a little bit older. I think it's 20 years. So this is just a love-inspired, a regular love-inspired novel. These covers are just stunning. The love-inspired line have the best covers, in my opinion. Between this, the suspense, and the historical, they are just gorgeous. So that's the first one that I got for free. The next one, oops, it's not that one. It's this one here, and it's called His Chosen Bride by Rhonda Gibson. This is a historical one. So they had one of the regular love-inspired, a historical, and a suspense to let you try all 3. But, I mean, look at how gorgeous that cover is. And then the last one is called, if I can find it here, is that it? No. Perhaps I should name these going forward so I can find them a little bit easier. This one is called The Lawman Returns by Lynette, Allison. And this is the first book in the Wrangler's Creek series. So again, free. And I don't know if the link is still active, but like I said, I will try and post it in the comments below. So you guys can definitely check it out if you're interested. And to give these a try. So the next ones are some books that I got on, of course, my deals. And the first one, this one came up and it sounded really interesting. It's called Twilight at Blueberry Barrens. It's by Colleen, Coble. And I believe this is labeled also as a Christian fiction novel. But it is a romantic suspense type novel. And it's about family secrets, essentially. And it's the third book in the Sunset Cove series. So again, I saw it on a deal. So, you know, I'll grab the first one first, of course, to start the series. That's always how they rope you in, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one very much. I'm looking forward to all these. I don't know why I always say that. But I find a lot of booktubers do that. Like every book they're looking forward to. So the next 2 books I want to talk about are both Harlequin special edition novels. And I didn't realize that, I know Harlequin does something called the Reader Service, which has been going on for a lot of years. Back when I used to get physical books, I used to belong to the Reader Service, where you pick whatever series it is that you like, and then once a month they send you like 4 books, and, you know, then you pay for them. But you automatically get these shipments every month. So I didn't realize they now do it for ebooks as well. So I joined up, and because if you join, you get 2 free books automatically. And you can try them out, and you can cancel if you don't like them or you don't enjoy them. My only thing is that I kind of wish that you could switch between series. Like, you know, do 1 month this series, do 1 month that series. But I picked special edition because they are my favorites, so I did get 2 free books. These are older. They're from last year, I think. And the first one is called Maverick vs. Maverick by Shirley Jump. This is a Montana Mavericks The Baby Bonanza series. It's book number 4. So this one will be fun. And then the other one is called Miss Bravo and the Boss, and it's by Christine Rimmer. And this is the 47th book in the Bravo family series. This is not a series you have to read in order, but it is, they have a thing called the Famous Families. The Bravos, the Mavericks, there's a couple, like, family sagas that continue throughout this series, this category romance series. Again, you don't have to read them in order, but it would be kind of fun to go back and start from the beginning, but I don't think I'm that crazy. So, yeah, I got that one as well. So every month now, I will be getting, now I picked, because they bring out 6 special edition books every month, but I went with the four of them, because 6 would be a little much, and it's under $15, so that's pretty reasonable, in my opinion. The next one I got, I heard about this one on Twitter. And if you guys have been watching my channel since last year, you know that back in October, November, and December, I read a trilogy of books by Tiffany Reisz. It was an interconnected series called Men at Work. And they were under the Harlequin Blaze banner. They were very spicy. She writes erotic novels, essentially. But I saw this one, and I paid full price for this because I wanted to read it that badly. Because, as you guys know, I raved about this author last year. And I'm just going to read the little bit of the top of the book for you guys. And it says, "From the internationally celebrated author of the original Sinner series comes a brand new tale of betrayal, revenge, and family scandal that bore a 150-year-old mystery." And this is called The Bourbon Thief. And it just sounds so good. Now, she's got a new one out that I put in to try and win on Twitter, but I didn't, unfortunately. So I do now have it on pre-order, which is absolutely okay. But, yeah, I was trying to win an art copy. But, yeah, so I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. A romantic suspense erotic novel. Very interesting. And I will definitely let you guys know what I think about it once I get to it. So then after that, it comes another whole raft of Harlequin novels. One thing I do love about buying on their website is that you can combine coupons. So on Friday, they had their buy 3 get 1 free, plus they had 17% off site-wide for St. Patrick's Day, plus they had 30% off all Western romance novels. I hit the jackpot, guys, and I bought 8 books. So I'm going to go through these relatively quickly. The first up is a love-inspired historical novel, and it is called Marshal Takes a Bride, which is obviously a Western. The next one is, The Doctor's Secret Baby by Teresa Southwick. Why are the babies always a secret? It's a romance trope, which, I could do without, but Teresa Southwick is a really great author, so I had to pick this one up. The next one is called, is this it? I've really got to name these just to make it easier on me. Is another love-inspired, but this is a suspense. It's called Code of Honor by Lenora Worth. I really do love these love-inspired novels. Next up is called Tall, Dark Westmoreland. I can never say that properly. It's by Brenda Jackson. She is a prolific author for the, these are the desire novels. So they're also a little spicier on the spicy side, if you will. And this is part of a big series that she does. So this one should be really, really great. These are all older. I'm trying to collect some of the older books as opposed to some of the more newer books. Next up is, this cover, if this is, I think it is. This cover makes me laugh. This is called High Stakes Homecoming by Susan McMinn. It is the 4th book in the Haven series. If you look at that cover real closely, it looks like he's not wearing any pants. Just saying. He is. I looked closely. But, I think they could have done a slightly better job on the cover art of this one, perhaps. But it still is really a nice cover. And next up is, to completely switch gears from a guy who's possibly not wearing any pants, to a Harlequin super romance novel called Kids on the Doorstep by Kimberly Van Meter. Isn't that adorable? Those kids are just too flippin' cute. And this is, it's not part of the series. I thought it was. Oh, maybe it is. It says Cowboy Country, but it's not labeled on Goodreads, so I'll have to check Fiction Database. Just an off, side note here, guys. If you're ever looking to find out if something's a series and you think it is, and it doesn't show that on Goodreads, check a website called Fiction Database. It's fiction, F-I-C-T-I-O-N, D as in dog, B as in base.com. And they do a fantastic job of listing series and listing what series books might be in. So, just a side note. Next up is one that, the title of this one makes me laugh. Criminally Handsome. Something my poor husband has to deal with all the time. I think he's pretty handsome. But this is a Harlequin intrigue novel, and it's by Cassie Miles. She's a really, really great author. So this one should be a lot of fun. And this is the 4th book in the Kenner County Crime Unit series. Say that 3 times fast. And last but not least of the ebooks that I bought, because I do have one physical book to show you guys, This one is called The Kidnapping of Kenzie Thorne, and this is another love-inspired suspense novel, so this one should be really great too. I'm not kidding you guys, I got all 8 of those books for less than $20 with all the coupons that I used, so yeah, pretty good. So, very quickly, and before I show you the last book, I want to talk about something really quickly, and I kind of want your guys' input on this. If you haven't realized, I buy a lot of the Harlequin category romance novels, because you guys know how much I love them. And they're not, in my opinion, talked about as much on BookTube. There's only a handful of us who actually talk about them and talk about the fact that we read them. I've mentioned this before. I feel that they get kind of a bad rap, that they're really cheesy, that they're really silly, that they're not, you know, very good literature, if you will. So what? They're fun, right? So I was looking at the amount of them that I'm buying, and on Goodreads, I was kind of reorganizing my shelves over the weekend, excuse me, and I put all of my Harlequin novels that I haven't read yet, like all my category romance ones, into a separate bookshelf on Goodreads, and more than half of my TBR is category romance novels from Harlequin, which I don't care, that makes me deliriously happy. I wish I had them in print book format that I could just like lay out on a shelf, because I just think that's awesome. So what I decided to do, what I've been thinking about, is I'm going to kind of do a little reading challenge to myself. And I did not know if this was something that perhaps the larger BookTube community would be interested in doing. So what I plan on doing is, over the summer, is reading majority of what I read to be category romance from Harlequin. And I'm going to call it like Summer with Harlequin or something like that. And kind of, I don't know, would you guys be interested in that? I'm going to do it myself irregardless. And like make it a challenge to me to try and read as many of them as I can. What I'd really love to do is for the Triple RC Challenge, the Romance Readers Reading Group Challenge on Goodreads, is for those 10 categories every month, is only read category romance to fit into those categories, and like to challenge myself to find books to fit into those categories. That's my thought process anyway, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. But I mean, if you guys want to do this too, you don't have to do that. You know, if you've never read a category romance novel by Harlequin, you know, challenge yourself to read one, you know, or something like that. I just think that that would be kind of fun. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just wanted to kind of mention it. I'm going to see what kind of feedback I get on it, and if it's something that you guys might be interested in, then I might go forward with it and do a separate video on it. So, the last thing that I want to talk about, because I'm losing light really quickly, I'm recording this later in the evening. It's almost 7 o'clock at night, and it's still light out. I love this time change thing. So the very last thing I want to talk about is a print book that I bought. I bought this book. I actually saw this book a couple weeks ago when my husband and I were in Chapters. And I picked the 2 books that I was getting for my birthday, and then I saw this one on the table. And I immediately went home and added it to my cart on Amazon, because it was actually cheaper on Amazon than it was buying it in the store. Now, the reason this stuck out at me is because this is a case that happened in Ontario. This is a nonfiction novel, and it's a criminal case, which is usually not my cup of tea, but because it happened in Ontario, because I kind of know the background, I was really interested in reading it. And it's called Death in the Family by John Chipman. So what I'm going to do is, because it's easier than me trying to explain it, is I'm just going to read the inside flap here, if you guys don't mind. In the mid-1990s, the Chief Coroner's Office in Ontario decided that death investigation terms needed to think dirty when faced with pediatric deaths. Coroners, pathologists, and police were told to suspect child abuse was involved until they could prove otherwise. No one embraced this directive more zealously than Dr. Charles Smith, Ontario's top pediatric forensic pathologist, and few in the field shared his influence and professional reputation. The results were catastrophic. Smith had virtually no training in forensics and little understanding of his proper role in the investigations. Nearly half of the autopsies he conducted in suspicious death cases were flawed, resulting in false allegations, desperate plea deals, and wrongful convictions. Families were torn apart, children were forced into foster care, years were lost to prison. A disciplinary committee would eventually find Smith incompetent and guilty of professional misconduct. But it was little comfort to his victims. Their lives had been shattered. So essentially this is the story of, you know, that whole case. And again, I remember this case, the mid-1990s. I would have been in high school, and I remember hearing about it on the news, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it in high school, like in class. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, it sounds really good. It's going to be a sadder novel because you're dealing with the death of infants, but more so, you know, wrongful death cases. So if this is something you guys would be interested, definitely I recommend that you check it out. It is available on Amazon. I don't know if it's available in the States. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But again, the reason I did this is because this happened in my town, essentially. It happened in Toronto. So yeah, again, maybe it's that sick fascination, something that happened in my area. I'm always more interested in reading. So anyway, guys, this video ended up being a lot longer than I intended, and I do apologize for that, and I am very quickly losing light. So I'm going to let you guys go. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, what you guys think of the Summer with Harlequin read-along thing that I kind of want to do. And until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Bye.